The Last Horror Movie is a film I've had in my collection for a long time, but I never watched it because it said comedy on it when I bought it years and years and years ago. I've had this thing forever. I saw comedy on it and I was like, is this like a spoof kind of thing? And the answer is no, definitely not. It's pretty serious. It's just that the main guy is kind of being snarky, but I definitely wouldn't consider it funny. Like, there's definitely moments where I could laugh, for sure. You know what this reminds me of the most would be Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. And I think this is before it. So what it is basically Max is this wedding photographer, and he's using a video camera to kind of show us his life as a serial killer. And he steals a movie from the video store and records over it. So it's very much like you're watching real footage. So it's found footage. This is from 2003, so it's old now. It's almost 20 years old at this point. But he kind of just takes you on his journey. He has a cameraman that he hires to watch him murder all these people, and he basically kind of comes at people with these, you know, these kind of like, you know, he's almost like shoving things back in your face of like, oh, if you don't support this, or if you're, it's basically like, if you watch this shit, you're just as fucked up as me. And why are you continuing to do this? And like, if I'm the real monster, then why is this? And he's, you know, he's trying to make all these arguments against humanity. And it's all these like questions of morality and whatnot. And I think a lot of it's really well written. And the performance from the lead is actually very solid. This is a good flick. Like, I really liked it a lot. And, you know, there's not like any gore, but the kills are still fairly unsettling because the film does feel pretty realistic. It's definitely one of the more realistic found footage films. I mean, obviously it's a, pardon the interruption, my phone fucking decided to quit on me. Anyway, doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, if you're a big found footage fan, and this is one that's passed you by and you like that Leslie Vernon kind of film where a guy's narrating his own murder spree and kind of telling you how he does it and why he does it, and we get kind of a glimpse into his normal life and then his secretive life, and then he also kind of explains why he refers to this as the last horror movie, and you know, that's for added effect. And I thought that was pretty cool because I was wondering what that title was, but he very much explains it in the film and it's towards the end. But yeah, I mean, I think what it really banks on and what worked for me is the performance from the lead. It's a very good performance, and he very much sells himself as a psychopath, and he has enough questions in it that he raises, and you know, enough banter that's intriguing and thought-provoking in the moment. I mean, he's a fucking psycho, so, but there is some things that he says that I'm like, that makes me kind of question some of the things that I think or say or do or whatever in a little bit, you know, and I like that from film. So this is a good flick for sure. It's almost 20 years old, and it just kind of always passed me by. But found footage fans, if you haven't seen this for some reason, check it out. It's worth a watch. And yeah, let me know when you do. Adios.